A lot of issues going on in Nigeria. We hear there's a sacking at the NNPC. I mean, of course, we have to ask how all this is affecting our markets. But first, looking at how the market performed yesterday, it's been down so far this week, not picking up, down on Monday, down on Tuesday again. But analysts are saying value traded is up. So what is your take on how investors sort of are playing our market right now?
I think the main driver in the market are international investors. The local investors still are not that keen on the market at the moment. And so we've seen national investors coming in and going out, and they're the big portfolio investors. I think until we start getting more domestic investors into the market, we're going to continue seeing such actions.
Well, Kayode, I mean, I'd love to talk about confidence issues in the market. I mean, we're hearing, of course, issues of corruption in the NNPC, major moves there. Also, there's an issue with Stockin right now. For example, we're hearing there's a class action suit. The SEC hasn't really done much about that. Of course, that came out in the House of Reps ad hoc committee meeting. Now, what is your take on how all these issues are affecting market confidence? Of course, it seems like our authorities don't seem to want to move fast on certain issues.
I think if you look at the NNPC moves, there's a bold move by the president. It's unusual to remove both the MD and the group executive directors at the same time and appoint new ones within hours. That's a bold move, and it suggests that, especially if you look at the appointment of a new NSA and the sacking of the defense minister over the weekend, it looks like there's some big moves happening at the moment this week. And if I was a minister in the Federal Executive Council, I might be a bit worried about what's going to happen in the council today. So I think the market's looking at maybe the government is taking seriously its reform drive now. If you look at the issues over Starcoms, I mean, it's an issue where you would expect this security, the SEC, to have made a comment. Whether either we are investigating, we're looking into the matter, but they've been very silent about it. The stock exchange, because Stockholm's listed, has been silent about it as well. And so what investors are going on is what's on the internet and rumors of a class action suit and basically just rumors. And it doesn't help the market. So I think the regulators have to get a grip and make a statement. Even if we're saying we're investigating or there's nothing to investigate, just say something.
Well, give us a bit of an update of what's really going on with that Starcoms issue. We know it's one of the listed companies on the NSE, and of course, allegations of maybe some corruption when it comes to the doling out of shares. What really is going on there? Well,
the allegation now is based on a petition that was sent to the House of Reps. And the petition basically says that Starcoms' private placement in 2008 wasn't a private placement, it was a public offer, and therefore it broke SEC rules. There are among other allegations in the statement as well, but those have not been substantiated yet. And what is expected, SEC should investigate in that issue, because it's a serious issue about the way the market is conducted and the way market operators operate in the market.
But we are hearing about, for example, our Sovereign Wealth Fund, I was going to say SWF Fund. They came up yesterday saying that it's finally going to be implemented, sort of the 8-month political wrangling is over. I mean, that's a good thing for Nigeria. I don't know what your take is on this. And of course, there are questions about whether it's going to replace the excess crude account, whether we're going to see the same lack of transparency that we saw in the excess crude account. What is your take so far on what's going on there?
Until the governors remove their suit from the Supreme Court about the Sovereign Wealth Fund, I'm going to take a back seat on whether they've actually agreed to it. Going from what happened in the NEC on Monday, National Economic Council, it seems the governors have come to a kind of a halfway house where they said, okay, Sovereign Wealth Fund can take off with the $1 billion, but the ECA will still operate in that sense. So it's a bit of a halfway house. It's a start, but it needs to be pushed on. But the thing about the Sovereign Wealth Fund is that there are a lot of people are putting a lot of things on the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Like, for example, the stockbrokers are hoping the Sovereign Wealth Fund is going to pump money into the stock exchange, which I think would be a very bad idea, to be honest. And everyone thinks it's going to be used for infrastructure and a lot of things. So we really need to see, is there the Sovereign Wealth Fund going to start, who are the executives, and what is their mandate going forward?
Well, certainly we'd like to see what's going to happen with the Sovereign Wealth Fund and whether they are going to pump money into the stock exchange. But I'd like to also ask about a recent move by the president who's proposing a legislation to check population growth. He said the last government estimate puts Nigeria's population at 167 million. What is your take on all this? And I mean, he wants to check population growth.
You can't legislate on population growth. I mean, it goes to the heart of women, of rights of people. You can't stop women from having babies. I mean, what you need to do is, if you look at historical records, the biggest limit on the population growth is the economy. As the economy improves, as you get more women get more rights, more women go to work, they have less children. And also, if you look at results from the World Health Organization, Nigeria has a very, very poor maternal death rate. In terms of I think of the global record of number of children that die under 5, 10% of that are Nigerians. So a lot of Nigerian families, if you take the cultural issues aside, a lot of Nigerian families have a lot of children because they expect, especially in the rural areas, at least half of them probably to die before they're 5. Now, to addressing all those kind of issues, you can't legislate for people to stop having babies.